What if the person who loved you most was the one who wanted you dead? What if they didn't just want you gone, but wanted to become you? Stefania Dubrovina wasn't just killed. She was obliterated. Her beauty ripped from her body, her face carved apart. Her eyes, the windows to her soul, were taken from her, her ears sliced off. The face that once captivated everyone who saw her was left a ruined mask. But the horror didn't end there. The person who destroyed her wasn't a stranger. It wasn't a scorned lover or a crazed fan. It was her own sister. This is more than a story about murder. It's a story about obsession, the kind that festers in the dark, unseen, until it becomes unstoppable. The kind of obsession that makes you ask, could someone close to you be hiding the same darkness? Before we go deeper into this story, welcome to the Evil Psyche, where we peel back the layers of the human mind and uncover the darkness most people pretend doesn't exist. If you crave more stories that crawl under your skin and make you question everything you think you know about human nature, hit that subscribe button. Because here, we don't just tell true crime stories, we get inside the killer's head. Stefania and Elizaveta Dubrovina didn't start life like most sisters. There were no birthday parties or cozy family dinners. Their lives began in chaos, and that chaos never really let go. Born to parents who shouldn't have been parents at all, they were raised in a home filled with screaming, violence, and addiction. Their mother was barely present, disappearing for days on end, leaving the girls to fend for themselves. Their father wasn't any better. When he was around, the girls prayed for him to leave again. By the time Stefania was 7 and Elizaveta 9, social services stepped in. The girls were ripped from their home and split up. Just two more nameless orphans in Russia's broken child welfare system. They didn't find comfort in their new homes. There was no fresh start. Elizaveta bounced between foster families, each one colder than the last. She learned fast. Being the good girl was the only way to survive. She became what people wanted her to be: quiet, obedient, invisible. Stefania ended up in an orphanage. She learned something different. No one was coming to save her, but she didn't give up. Stefania wasn't like Elizaveta. She wasn't content to be invisible. She wanted more. By the time Stefania was 15, she wasn't a little girl anymore. She was stunning. The kind of beauty people stared at in the street, unaware they were even doing it. Her features were delicate but striking. Wide eyes that seemed to hold 1,000 unspoken stories. Lips that curled into a shy, knowing smile. Long, soft brown hair that fell around her face like she was born to be photographed. And the world noticed. She started modeling. Small gigs at first. Photo shoots for local brands. But it wasn't long before bigger opportunities found her. People wanted her, not Elizaveta. Elizaveta, now 17, watched from the sidelines. The sister who once shared her broken childhood now seemed untouchable. Stefania was going places, leaving Elizaveta behind. Something twisted inside her. A voice whispered, "Why her? Why not you?" She started to copy Stefania. First it was subtle, the same lipstick shade, the same haircut. But it escalated. Soon she was mimicking Stefania's poses, buying clothes she couldn't afford to look just like her younger sister. She didn't want to be like Stefania anymore. She wanted to be her. That February night didn't feel like the start of a tragedy. It felt like a party. Stefania and Elizaveta were invited to an apartment by a 42-year-old man. His name never made the papers, but he wasn't a stranger. He had been helping Stefania with her modeling career, setting up photo shoots, making promises. Was he helping her out of kindness? Or was there something darker underneath? We'll never know. The sisters arrived together. The man welcomed them in. There was music, wine, laughter. The man kept pouring drinks, and they kept drinking. At midnight, the alcohol ran out. He left to buy more. That was his mistake. He wasn't gone long, maybe 15 minutes. By the time he came back, Stefania wasn't Stefania anymore. The apartment smelled like cheap wine and perfume when he left. When he returned, it smelled like copper, like blood. He found Elisaveta standing over Stefania's body, her hands slick and red. Stefania's body wasn't just stabbed, it was butchered. Her eyes were gone, gouged from their sockets, her ears sliced clean off. Her face, her beautiful face, was slashed so many times it was unrecognizable. Elisaveta didn't run. She didn't cry. She stared at him, breathing hard, and said one thing. "She doesn't look so pretty now, does she?" Elisaveta wasn't a stranger to psychiatric clinics. Friends said she was off. There were whispers she had been institutionalized before, but no one knew for sure. After the murder, people wanted answers. They wanted to know how a sister, her own blood, could do this. Was it jealousy? Was she mentally ill? Or was it something worse? Was it evil? Elisaveta didn't tell the police why she did it. She didn't beg for forgiveness. Some say she believed killing Stefania would somehow absorb her beauty, her life, her essence. That if Stefania didn't exist anymore, maybe Elisaveta could finally be seen. Stefania Dubrovina died at the hands of the person who loved her most and hated her most. But that's the thing about envy. It doesn't feel like hate at first. It feels like love, twisted love, love that curdles. Stefania never saw it coming. She loved her sister. Would you see it coming? Could you recognize envy, even if it wore the face of someone you loved? Maybe that's the scariest part. The monster doesn't always come from outside. Sometimes, it's already sitting beside you, smiling. Elisaveta wasn't born a monster. She was made. Think about it. Two sisters, both abandoned, both tossed around by a broken system. But only one of them rose from the ashes, shining. It didn't start with jealousy. It started with love. Elisaveta adored Stefania. As kids, she was her protector. When they were left alone for days, it was Elisaveta who comforted her, who whispered bedtime stories to chase away the dark. She wasn't just her sister. She was her mother, her father, her everything. But love like that is fragile. It can rot from the inside. And the moment the world noticed Stefania's beauty, Elisaveta felt something ugly crawl into her heart. Stefania was no longer her little sister. She was competition. Imagine watching someone you raised, someone you built, surpass you. They get everything you ever wanted, the attention, the praise, the affection, and you're left in the background, invisible. Wouldn't you start to hate them for it? Let's slow it down. The moment the door clicked shut, leaving the sisters alone, Stefania was drunk. The room spun. She giggled, maybe teased her older sister. She wasn't scared. She should have been. Did Elisaveta hesitate? Did she stare at Stefania's perfect face one last time, hoping that envy would dissolve into love again? Or was that moment long gone? The first stab wasn't careful. It wasn't clean. It was desperate. Stefania didn't die quickly. The autopsy confirmed that. She fought. Her nails were broken, her fingertips bloody from trying to push Elisaveta off her. Imagine the betrayal in her eyes. That split-second realization that the person she trusted most wasn't trying to scare her or hurt her. She was trying to kill her. The police believe Elisaveta didn't just want her dead, she wanted her erased. Gouging out her eyes wasn't about brutality. It was about making sure no one ever looked at her sister again. Those eyes, the ones everyone admired, were the first thing she destroyed. The ears? Same thing. No one would listen to Stefania now. The face? She didn't want Stefania to be beautiful anymore. She wanted her to be nothing. Here's the part that makes you wonder if Elisaveta even existed anymore by the time she swung that knife. After the murder, when the police found her, Elisaveta wasn't crying. She wasn't screaming. She was smiling. Her clothes were soaked in blood, Stefania's blood, but she had taken the time to fix her hair. She looked eerily like her sister. The same makeup, the same lipstick shade, the same hairstyle. Was it deliberate? Did Elisaveta think, deep down, that if she killed Stefania and wore her skin, figuratively, maybe even literally, that she could step into her life? Did she think she could finally be the one they adored? It wasn't enough to kill Stefania. She had to become her. The courtroom wasn't filled with rage. It was filled with confusion. The prosecutors painted Elisaveta as a jealous psychopath. The defense leaned into mental illness, bringing up her previous stints in psychiatric care. But Elisaveta? She didn't defend herself. She barely spoke. The only thing she said over and over again was, "She was so beautiful. Why did she have to be so beautiful?" Let's talk psychology, because this is where it gets unnerving. Jealousy is human. We all feel it. But envy like this, is something else entirely. Experts call it malignant envy. It's not the kind of jealousy where you wish you had what someone else does. It's the kind where you believe they don't deserve it, and you'd rather destroy them than see them have it. It's the kind of envy that makes you think, if I can't have it, neither can you. But Elisaveta took it further. She didn't just want to take Stefania down, she wanted to replace her. It raises a terrifying question. When does envy stop being an emotion and start becoming a new identity? We like to think we'd see it coming. Betrayal from someone close to us, a family member, a best friend. But did Stefania see it coming? Her final photo was a selfie with her sister, smiling, arms around each other. She wasn't afraid. She loved Elisaveta. Would you see it coming? What if someone in your life, someone you love, secretly wants to be you? What if they're smiling at you right now, thinking, "You don't deserve this life. I do." Elisaveta is locked away now, but the truth is, this story doesn't feel over. Because envy like this doesn't die. It lingers. It festers. And maybe, just maybe, it's closer to you than you think.